And before we get underway here, a special moment on what is a special day for Palace captain Amy Everett. She makes her 100th appearance for the club, only the second ever player to hit such a milestone. Something to remember for her, whatever happens in the minutes ahead. Well, it's a landmark day for captain Amy Everett, who makes her 100th appearance for Crystal Palace. She becomes only the second player to hit 3 figures for the club. She takes her usual place in the side, with fellow Centurion and January's Player of the Month Molly May Sharp also starting. There were 2 changes from the Southampton defeat last time out. Ex-Bristol City captain Jamie Lee Napier comes in for Chloe Arthur at the back, and Kirsty Howard replaces Elise Hughes further forward, as she did during the last match. Both Hughes and Howard scored in the reverse fixture, which was lively and competitive, as did Abby Larkin. Elsewhere, goalkeeper Shea Yanez starts against her former employers. Hayley Nolan makes her 50th competitive Palace appearance, and recent signing Hayley Ladd is in the starting 11 with fellow January recruit Lucy Newell on the bench. Two changes as well for Bristol City, who comfortably swept Sunderland aside last time out. Experienced WSL and international regular Vicky Losada returns to the starting 11 at the expense of Maureen Dufour, while Lexi Lloyd-Smith comes in for Rio Hardy, who was one of the City scorers in the reverse fixture. Emily Syme got the other Robins goal that day, and she again takes her place in a very exciting visiting attacking setup. Katie Robinson and Jessie Gale will look to take the game to Palace, showcasing their ability on the ball and in the box when the chances come. The vastly experienced Sophie Ingle, with 10 major honours on her CV from her Chelsea days, will marshal the midfield. Recent signing Olivia Voss could debut from the bench. The Polish international joins the 2 players who drop out of the lineup in waiting in the wings. Well, it's a day for ability to come to the fore, for leaders to stand tall, for coaches and players to be brave, and for nerves to be managed. And the game will be taken charge of by Amy Dearden, who has the whistle today. And as part of Crystal Palace's celebration of LGBTQ+ History Month, this match has been designated as the host's Pride match, with the feeling of inclusivity filling the air and the message being reiterated that football is for everyone. And so we're set and ready to go. Bristol City in their white away strip today, Crystal Palace in their traditional blue and red. And it will be the home side to get the ball rolling. Palace won the reverse fixture by the odd goal in 5. They emerged victorious despite being pegged back twice by Bristol City. So let's see what they serve up for us this time around, with points starting to prove pivotal towards the WSL 2 summit. Early moments will be fascinating to see if the sides are brave or try to be content with keeping the ball. Bristol City looking to start in lively fashion. Ball swung in by Marie Ward and claimed easily by their former goalkeeper Yanez, who was with Bristol City in the second half of the season before last. Crystal Palace's turn to attack, but it comes to nothing. Well, Bristol City enjoyed themselves in their last outing, comfortably overcoming Sunderland at home, whereas Crystal Palace were on the receiving end against Southampton, a game which their manager wants to see a reaction from today. Katie Robinson's cross is blocked. She'll be one the home side have to keep really quiet today, having shown her ability in the top tier previously and on the international stage as well. Vicky Losada jostling for position in there, trying to break free. Good work by Jamie Lee Napier against her former side, trying to make sure they don't gain any territory. Opportunity to whip the ball in. Yanez right behind it though. A routine claim for a goalkeeper of her quality. She joined Crystal Palace at the start of last season from Bristol City. Has shown her quality in between the posts ever since for the Eagles. Strong defensive work from Silstruck. Trying to provide a platform from which to build is Lexi Lloyd-Smith. Back in the side today, and she will look to push that Crystal Palace backline further and further towards their own goal. Powell with the throw. Lloyd-Smith, the target. Just being a little too physical on that occasion. Can be someone who can dominate the battle against centre halves, but is fleet of foot at times as well. Ward, happy to settle for the throw. Crystal Palace weren't expecting that to be a Bristol City ball. Annabelle Blanchard, one of the key players for the home side. 3 goals in WSL2 for her this season already. Goals being shared around for Crystal Palace. Abby Larkin, Kirsty Howitt topping the scoring charts in the league with 5 goals apiece. Poke away by Struck. And a throw that will be taken by Hayley Nolan. 50th appearance for the club for her today. Speaking about her excitement for today's game in the build-up to it and the need to bounce back from the last outing. Here comes Molly May Sharp, looking for Larkin, trying to spin it across. And they'll probably settle for a corner there. There weren't too many Eagles players in the middle. Bristol City were well stocked at the back. Abby Larkin likely to be key to the Palace cause today. Crystal Palace corner. Swinging dangerously towards the Bristol City goal. Few trying to swing at the ball to get it away. This is the counter-attack that could prove dangerous today. Both sides very good at turning from defence to attack swiftly. Larkin just couldn't quite get it under control quickly enough to really put Bristol City on the back foot. Everett moving it on for Napier. Trying to help it into the path of Ashley Verdon. Another player who can be so hard to stop when she gets into full flight. Plenty of quality on this field today that could decide the encounter in either direction. And a fair bit of pace as well, which we'll see as the game develops. Everett across to try and slow Bristol City down at least. A ball in that asked a few questions of the Palace defence, but was far too close to Shea Yanez. Formerly, of course, of London City Lionesses as well. Had a 3-season spell there. Actually set a club record in terms of the number of clean sheets, 24 in 72 appearances. Bristol City getting into their stride again. Emily Syme starting to get into the game a bit more. It's Lawley and then Powell. Katie Robinson getting involved in the physical battle right in front of Palace boss Joe Potter. Well, Potter said after the defeat at Southampton, "I don't feel like we deserved anything from the game, really." An honest assessment of the defeat, which was frustrating for Crystal Palace. She felt that the Saints were worthy winners and that they could have scored even more on the day. Adding that, from a Palace point of view, as she put it, we've got to be better. So they will certainly be looking to step things up today, up against not only a tough opponent, but a direct opponent in terms of the promotion race. Swept away by Crystal Palace, but no chance for Veerden to get onto that. Joe Potter said the message in the dressing room after the game last time out was that we've got to take the loss, let it hurt, and then move on quickly, because it doesn't have to be a telling result in our season, but it could be if we let it fester. Let's see how they affect proceedings today. Mikato trying to make things happen in the middle of the park. Hayley Ladd as well, adding her versatility to the squad in the last weeks during the transfer window. Central midfield, of course, or centre-back. Charlotte Healy, the Bristol City manager, was delighted with the result last time out against Sunderland, profiting from an own goal 2 minutes in, which really settled any Bristol City nerves. Then another goal just before half-time and one right at the end to make sure of the points. Sunderland have picked things up a little bit of late. But on that occasion, the Robins just far too strong for the Black Cats. These two sides just settling into proceedings here now, getting a feel for the ball. Bristol City trying to press here to force the error, and they've done so. Jessie Gale finding no way through. Nicely played here to set Crystal Palace away, and Kirsty Howard. A bit of rough and tumble along the way. Howard emerges with it. Options arriving in the middle, but she couldn't pick any out. And the free kick does go Bristol City's way in the end. Gemma Lawley it was initially in the fight with Kirsty Howard for the ball. One of many personal duels which will be really interesting to watch as the game develops. Here's Ward for Bristol City. Trying to find that extra half a yard to whip it over. It was a testing ball, turned behind by Everett. They just weren't sure which way she was going to go here. Happy to go on the right foot or the left foot. Vicky Losada to take the Bristol City corner. And the ball placement's just going to be checked here, with a right old mix in the middle, a cluster of players looking to attack and defend in equal measure. It's Losada's corner. Emia's got something on it, which means we'll go again from the other side. Losada will take again, and once again the players bunch together. Hayley Ladd watching international teammate Sophie Ingle. Corner comes in. There was so much height on it, it was hard to really attack with any great punch. And the free kick could have gone either way, but it's gone in the direction of Crystal Palace. The foul by Emily Syme. up and away towards Howard. Hayley Ladd couldn't quite control it enough to set Howard away. So much experience on the field in the shape of various players, Ingle and Losada in the midfield for Bristol City in particular. Hayley Ladd, a great example of that from a Crystal Palace point of view. Blanchard finding a way past Syme. He goes here to Mikato. Jamie Napier taking over. Larkin, Veerden. Blanchard joining Howard in the middle. Veerden this way, that way. And eventually blocked by Silstruck. A good old-fashioned up and under to try and set Jessie Gale clear. Pumped forward towards Veerden. Larkin hasn't given up the chase, but it's a simple claim for Lauren Brisky. Good starting position from her to now set Ward away. Taking on Hayley Ladd, formerly of Manchester United and Everton, various others as well. Powell's ball. Lexi Lloyd-Smith trying to get away as her shirt was tugged a little. Question marks of high boot as Hayley Ladd went to attack it. Ward now attacking with Syme, swinging it over. Lloyd-Smith trying to make it hers. Well attacked by Amy Everett to get it clear from a Palace point of view. And that had to be watched by Yanez. Just a little bit of uncertainty at the back at times. Bristol City getting some joy down this left-hand side through the likes of Ward and Syme. Yanez not convincing with that one, but gets the goal kick in any case. And we've had 15 competitive minutes without any doors really being opened at either end of the field. Veerden's ball forwards. Howard, not quite on the same page as Blanchard, and Brisky happy to claim. Forward by Ward, and Gale won't quite beat Yanez to the ball. Had to get past a few obstacles to release the ball forward for a team. Nicely played by Molly May Sharp. This is Howard. Blanchard arriving in the middle. The ball just didn't get there. Transitions have been good for these two sides already. Hasn't had any end product, but defence to attack has been swift on both sides of the fence. Crystal Palace corner then. Veerden goes short. That's a better angle to whip it over. They can't get it clear. Hayley Ladd was going to have a go, had a couple of goes in the end. Molly-Mae Sharp blocked. And it'll be another one from the other side. Hayley Ladd winding up there to try and score against her former side. Just wouldn't quite drop to anyone with enough room to make their strike count. And there were a fair few bodies in the way. Such a crowded 6-yard box here. But Bristol City survive it. Veerden will trot across to take a corner from this side. So many jostling for position in the middle, it was hard to see who was going to get a touch on it. And hard to get a really telling touch. Veerden goes deeper this time. So congested in there. And now the breakaway, led by Robinson. Well, she's got pace to burn, but she was tracked all the way by Veerden, the corner taker, who slotted back into position very quickly indeed. Molly-Mae Sharp trying to shake off Ward here, who's not giving up, and she's got the ball back. Really good dynamic play to find Robinson, who goes for it. Well, comfortably wide in the end, but worth a hit in a game that waits for that crucial breakthrough. She had to work hard to find a way past Hayley Nolan. Capable of all sorts from that kind of range, as we've seen in her career thus far. "20 intriguing minutes. She's played her part. Although Bristol City have favoured this left side rather than her right side. Blanchard's layoff. This is Veerden. Mercato nearby. Howitt getting involved as well. Good solid defending again from those who've travelled. They'll have to go all the way home to start again. Lauren Brisky, who just for a moment her heart rate might have quickened a little. Ingle long towards Gale, just wouldn't sit for Emily Syme, but Palace can't get it clear either. Pressure kept on by Lexi Lloyd-Smith. Just couldn't resist having a little nibble at Jamie Lee Napier. Veerden thwarted. Veerden. Plenty of height on that. Spotted the run of Molly-Mae Sharp. Trying to help it back into an area, hoping that someone in stripes would be able to pounce. Starting to see a few people have efforts from a way out, albeit I think that was more of a cross than a shot. Trying to look for the run of Howitt. There's so much congestion in the box, and these defences being so strong at the moment, it's worth a hit from a way out. It's a real teaser of a corner. Away by Brisky, and eventually a foul by Ashley Verdon. Abby Dearden keeping a sharp eye on proceedings from corners. We've had a fair few already for both sides. There's a fair bit of contact going on in the middle. Emphatically away by Sophie Ingle. Well, a quarter of the way through the match. We've had 7 corners, but no efforts on target as yet. Both sides playing for territory, but not really hurting each other as yet. Not in terms of attacking moments, anyway. A few kicks and flicks along the way. The latest there from Sophie Ingle. Palace certainly in charge in terms of possession, but nothing telling as yet from either side. Which in some ways is no surprise. They're both very good sides. There's a lot at stake here. It's not about being reckless. It's about being brave in the right moments, but also being considered. Molly May Sharp's ball over. Verdon was there and was offside. So the lack of contact inconsequential. It's a good look up though from Molly May Sharp. I saw that she had a couple of options in the middle. It's Amy Everett. All the way back it goes. Floated forwards. Nikato trying to make it hers. It's Syme though who threads it through. Oh, and Jessie Gale tumbles. Now then, what does Abby Dearden do here? It's a yellow card, with Bristol City asking why it isn't red. Hayley Nolan, whose heart must have skipped a beat there. Syme with the ball through. Jessie Gale trying to get the right side of Nolan. Was it intentional? Was it accidental? The verdict is a yellow card and no more. Well, Abby Dearden was adamant in discussion there, particularly with Vicky Losada, that it did not merit a red card. It'd been an interesting conversation to listen in on there between the two of them. Absolutely no doubt that Nolan was the last defending player before Cheyanez. Jessie Gale had stolen a march. So Crystal Palace survive with the full complement. The question is, can they survive the free kick? Emily Syme with eyes for goal, and it's clawed away by Yanez. She saw it all the way over the wall and dealt with it accordingly. Lovely hit. It was dipping, it was swerving a little as well. She had eyes for that bottom corner. It's the first real talking point of the afternoon. That ball through for Gale, the challenge by Nolan and the resulting free kick. Let's see what happens from this set piece. Repelled by Palace. This is Ward, looking to keep the pressure on. Robinson, twisting and turning and looking for Losada. It's a testing ball, and it's in from Lexi Lloyd-Smith. The game opens up in Bristol City's favour, and that could make all the difference in this promotion picture. Crystal Palace just couldn't get out, and Bristol City made sure the ball was in. Well worked by Robinson initially. Losada's cross caused all kinds of problems. It was put on a plate by Silstruck, and Lexi Lloyd-Smith pounced. Well, that could be a huge goal in the campaigns for both of these clubs. Lexi Lloyd-Smith with her 7th WSL 2 goal of the season, which ties her at the top of the table with Rio Hardy in terms of league goals for Bristol City this season. She was the club's top scorer last season, Young Player of the Year. And scored 11 goals in all competitions, 10 in what was called the Championship, of course, last season. WSL 2 these days. And Bristol City might feel that that was justice. Certainly they were furious that Hayley Nolan wasn't dismissed, as Hayley Ladd is sent tumbling. It all ends in smiles between Ladd and Losada. We've had a fair few battles in the top tier previously. Palace looking to respond. Ashley Veerden. Larkin. Did well to take on Robinson, but the cross was never going to find anyone in the middle. In some ways, you'd think it's the perfect first half an hour for Bristol City. A goal up, a clean sheet intact. A game in which they've given away precious little, and they've looked the more dangerous of the sides. And a striker restored to the side is restored to the score sheet. She, of course, scored last time out, but from the bench, 7 minutes after coming on, replacing Jessie Gale. player who has been in Arsenal's academy. She was 4 years there. She joined Chelsea. She was at Charlton. Played football in the United States as well, before signing for Bristol City from Southampton. Crystal Palace just look nervy at the back. They have done really since that challenge from Nolan. Bristol City have just been probing and prodding ever since kickoff. Sharp's ball forward, looking for Larkin. Away by Struck, who played such a key part in that goal, just cushioning that header back down into position for Lexi Lloyd-Smith. Using her considerable height advantage to help Bristol City's cause. That's a Palace ball. No need to panic for the home side, but they will want to exert some sort of authority on this game in the 10 or so minutes that remain of the first half. Bristol City starting the day, of course, above their hosts, looking to stretch the gap. Charlton, of course, with a cushion at the top of the table at the start of this weekend. Birmingham City also looking a real force at this level under Amy Merricks. They provide opposition for Crystal Palace in the weeks ahead. Indeed, a week on Monday, Crystal Palace travel to Birmingham City. Next weekend, Bristol City are at home to Southampton. Southampton, who are in this promotion conversation, albeit with a few points to make up on the sides above them. Certainly as it stands, the top three in the table are in danger of stepping away from the rest. Charlton, Birmingham and Bristol City. It's worth noting as well that Charlton and Bristol and Birmingham City rather have a game in hand on various teams. Birmingham City's game against Newcastle United postponed in early January. A few fixtures fell foul of the weather last month. Getting lively in the midfield. Jessie Gale coming away with it. This is Robinson, just a little heavy touch, which saw her closed down by Napier. Masada for Ingle. Ward now, taking on Sharp. Happy to cut inside or go on the outside. She's so difficult to mark in that respect. Fired forward with shouts of offside, but no flag. And in by Ward, just a little too close to Yanez. Amy Everett. Forward it goes, and Mikato all the way through, and Brisky with a huge save for Bristol City, And an even bigger block from Struck to deny Molly May Sharp. Crystal Palace seemed destined for parity there. It's the first time they've really carved Bristol City open at the back. Another lovely ball through. Kirsty Howard this time profiting, trying to set it on a plate for the equaliser. Abby Larkin on target, home and away against Bristol City. And that's a big, big goal for Crystal Palace with half-time on the horizon. Well, they might celebrate. Lovely ball to tuck them in behind the Bristol City back line. And once the ball was there, Larkin was always likely to sweep it home. Out on her own as their league top scorer now with 6. And that's one of the more important ones along the way. Well, we expected a good contest here. A solid matchup between two well-skilled, well-drilled teams, and so it's proved. Not too much given away by either side, but it's starting to open up a treat now. Once again, some sparkling work here by Mary Ward. A little over 5 minutes to the break. Vicky Losada replacing the ball. I don't think there's actually any need. It only needs to hang over the quadrant, of course. It doesn't need to be touching it. Losada's touch from Struck. And swept clear with Lexi Lloyd-Smith looking to gather it in. Forward by Ward, but that will skip away from Sophie Ingle. Well, it's fair to say both coaches would take positives and negatives from this first half. Both sides have had an element of control at separate times of the half. Both have a goal on the board, and yet both have conceded, and now both have had a couple of wobbles at the back. Hooked away by Losada. Little flick by Syme. Robinson pestering Bearden. Blanchard strong in the challenge. I think Ella Powell just wondering how she didn't get a free kick. Robinson trying to get past Napier. We describe these challenges as committed, not necessarily full of defensive quality at times, but there is starting to become a little bit of bite in the tackles now. Players getting frustrated with their opponents and perhaps with the situation of the match. With both sides heading as it stands for a point each when they'd much rather have 3. Losada's delivery. Away as far as Lloyd-Smith and back in from Ward. And now a break with plenty of noise from the stands and pace on the field. Larkin, who's already done some damage. Howard. Veerden just staying onside, or was she? Well, if she is the one flagged, that's such a waste of a promising attack. So important when you're in a wide position that you check your position along the defensive line, and to give away a free kick like that just takes all the sting out of your side's attacking moment. That was a nasty clash between Nolan and Sharp, and that needs attention straight away. Two physically imposing characters there, walloping into each other. Possibly a lack of communication, certainly not a lack of desire. Two players who only stay down like that when they are truly hurt. So this will require a bit of time. And it's a rare chance in this first half for both sides to draw breath, really. You might say it's not been a classic in terms of the final third quality at times, but because of the pace of the game, the desire on show, it's been harum-scarum from the off. Well, they get a proper chance to have conversation with their players in a few minutes, but the players on each side really getting a preview of the half-time team talk just before the interval. So Nolan and Sharp seemingly okay to continue. I think maybe just discussing about the fact that next time they might call a name before they charge into each other. Incidentally, the game will be restarted. Both players will stay on the field because they are from the same team and collided with each other, rather than it being a player being fouled and requiring treatment, therefore needing to step to the side. That 30 seconds rule, which fourth officials love implementing, by the way. We're going to play 3 minutes of added time, perhaps a shade more because we're into that now and we haven't got going again. Abby Dearden just sort of explaining to the players what's going to happen here and how the game should be restarted. Days of the competitive drop ball long gone. Sharp. It bounces off Ward, who tries to make it hers. This is Sharp and Larkin, who saw a gap and tried to burrow her way through it. Instead, it's a Bristol City breakaway, and it would have been led by Jessie Gale, but she couldn't take it with her. It's clear where she wanted the ball, but still it should have been controlled. Powell wins the throw. Forward by Ward. Oh, Gale's in behind here, up against Nolan. Yanez thought about coming. Well, there was certain indecision at the back, which might in the end have helped Crystal Palace's cause and confused the onrushing Jessie Gale. He wasn't quite sure how to finish it. Her pace is devastating against this Crystal Palace backline, though. And the passes through to her have been really strong at times. In the end, the goalkeeper won out. Losada's corner. There won't be time for too much more. Where's that going? Well, it might have gone down as not one of her best corners, but it actually caused all sorts of issues. Not least an injury problem here for Jamie Lee Napier. Added time in added time now. She was clattered as she tried to clear it. It was Ella Powell who was a little late on the scene. There will be a few at half-time who might leave this field with a bit of a grimace. Well, Jamie Lee Napier being asked here to speed up her departure. It'll be Bristol City's ball. Sophie Ingle will take custody, and time for one last attack in the half. Led by Ward, who pings it into the box, and they couldn't get rid of it. Lexi Lloyd-Smith just got underneath it. Optimistic appeals for a tug on the shirt, I think, but leaning back, it was always going to go up and away. There was a grab of the shirt, I think, from both involved in the challenge, including Lloyd-Smith herself. Half-time. A goal apiece. As it stands, a point apiece in what's been an intriguing game thus far. Both sides on the score sheet. Bristol City thanks to Lexi Lloyd-Smith from close range. Crystal Palace equalising through Abby Larkin. The main talking point from the first half, the yellow card shown to Hayley Nolan, where Bristol City felt her last-ditch challenge on Jessie Gale warranted more like a red. That's one to debate at the break. The score, Crystal Palace 1, Bristol City 1. Bristol City get us underway in the second half. 1-1 at the interval, as it was in the reverse fixture. And we then saw 3 second-half goals, which tilted the game in Crystal Palace's favour. I wonder what kind of a second half we'll have from a goal-scoring point of view this time round. No doubt there's potential for more on both cast lists here. But also we've seen the defensive issues that both sides have had in the first half, so certainly optimism for both teams in terms of looking to apply pressure and get that all-important third goal of this game, if indeed there is one. Both sides have been on such good runs of late that today won't faze them in the sense of coming up against a strong opponent. Some big games still ahead for these sides. So important that the teams currently in the top 3 or 4 spots don't accelerate away from everybody else in this division too quickly. A real opportunity this season with potentially 3 clubs going up from WSL 2 to WSL. So important to try and do all you can in terms of quality on the field to get into those top 3 spots. If everything were to stay as it currently is between now and the end of the season, Charlton and Birmingham would go up automatically, and Bristol City would be in the relegation promotion playoff to try and get into the top flight. Palace would miss out, but there's a fair old way to go before that's all decided. First tangling of opponents in the second half is between Powell and Howitt. A pleading of innocence from the Bristol City defender. It's fair to say there was a bit of leaning back from Howitt, and a bit of pushing down from Powell. The whistle blown in favour of Crystal Palace here, who turned to Abby Larkin for delivery. Searching for a striped shirt. It was actually kept alive by Bristol City there and Lexi Lloyd-Smith. Put it back into a dangerous area, and they're relieved to see it hacked away for a corner. Verdon's corner. So busy in the middle. And Brisky was stuck to a line really there. Decided not to come out and try and impose herself on things, and was relieved to collect in the end. Powell to take the throw here. And it goes off Napier. He joined Crystal Palace from Bristol City in the most recent summer on a 2-year deal. Was captain of the Robins last season, the second of 2 years she spent with them. Glasgow born. Mikato up against Emily Syme. Bristol City emerge with it. It's a poor ball though when all is said and done. The final ball from both sides today has at times been lacking the quality we know they can produce. Gale, he was a real nuisance in that first half from a Palace point of view. A tug of the shirt from Ward will be punished. She was key in the first half, mainly in a forward sense. Just given a little warning there because it was a pull of the shirt. Napier making good ground here and looking for Verdon, who couldn't reel it in. We haven't seen the best of her today. In fact, there's a fair few attacking players for either side who've not been able to show exactly what they can do as yet. The game has been so tight and competitive that there's been very little space for the attacking players to really show their quality. Lloyd-Smith has shown her ability to sniff out a chance from close range. Right place, right time kind of moment from her. Ward bursting forward, as she loves to do. Losada knitting everything together with Robinson this time and Powell. Palace recovering their shape well there to stem the flow from Bristol City. And that just about wriggled away from Kirsty Howitt. That's a foul. Mikato, the player, penalised. It's quite a midfield duo, that, isn't it, at this level? Sophie Ingle and Vicky Losada. There will be, and have been, so many teams in WSL2 who just can't compete with that double pivot. Lloyd Smith taking it down neatly. Seen off by Everett. She's the inevitable target from the throw as Mikato tries to step in the way. Powell just about managing to stay off the field as she throws it. A couple of false starts with the throw. This is Robinson, who's offside. Another one of those careless offside decisions, really, when you can see right across to where the defenders are. Forward ball that puts Crystal Palace on the front foot, and Blanchard. Oh, it was there for her, wasn't it? Always baffling in a game of football when you see a player who's so talented, unable to do something that looks so simple, capable of scoring some wonderful goals as we've seen already, and just couldn't get the connection right here. Tough angle, and the ball coming over the shoulder isn't easy to deal with, but she's more than capable of doing better than that. Oh, she was so good at Blackburn Rovers, wasn't she, Annabelle Blanchard? Winning the Player of the Season award from both the coaches and the supporters. She started her career at Liverpool as a 16-year-old. Was so good in the promotion-winning Crystal Palace side of the season before last. 11 goals. She played 19 league games, scoring 11 times, including hat-tricks against Durham and London City Lionesses. Second half minutes gone already. It's a game that is racing by. Larkin, nice touch. She has Howard and Blanchard with her, and Veerden. Oh, it's through towards Kirsty Howard. Well, Brisky was quick off her line. The flag would have stopped any celebrations in any case. Crystal Palace, though, starting to put the foot down a little bit here and take control. Hayley Ladd there, fully committed. So keen to get to the ball here in the battle of the 16s with Emily Syme. Oh, that might be Howitt's ball. No, Brisky made sure it wasn't. Just as well for Bristol City that she did. They're losing their defensive shape here, the visitors. And the message from Brisky there, calm down. This is where we spoke earlier on about it would be great to win the game for both these sides, but be a bit of a disaster to lose it in some ways. Crystal Palace need to keep on the coattails of Bristol City. City don't want to let Palace gain any ground on them. So be brave in the game, but don't be reckless. Powell demanding more movement. Getting it from Syme. Lovely little run. Just managed to tuck herself in there. And again, it was Hayley Ladd who faced up to her. Such a good ball carrier, which for any team at any level can really get you out of trouble. Whipping the ball from defence up to attack, gaining ground and relieving pressure. Losada's corner. Something they've clearly worked on with Lexi Lloyd-Smith, although it didn't quite work out the way they wanted, and certainly the second ball in didn't. Well, they'll look to her in the final half an hour of this game to really impose herself on that midfield area. Make sure that the quality balls are played through and that very little gets past her and Sophie Ingle. Two of many players in the WSL2 this season with so much top flight experience. Jordan Nobbs, another example to stand out at Newcastle United these days. Players like Beatrice Sari as well at Birmingham City, who've played at the top level and are showing their quality. Sari in terms of goal scoring this season for the Blues more than anything else. Robinson, chance to have a go herself maybe, or perhaps set up Jessie Gale, who was sprawling, not scoring. Just got levered off the ball there at the vital moment. This was the Katie Robinson we saw during her time at Brighton. Who really came to the fore as their Young Player of the Year a few seasons ago. Joined Aston Villa in July of 2024 before signing for Bristol City on a 2.5-year deal. A bit of a coup of a signing. Here's Reardon up against Powell, who stuck to her task. Shouts of hands. Mikato carries on. Tidied up by Syme. Away by Powell. Lloyd-Smith looking to flick it on. Had she got the contact there, might well have opened the door for Jessie Gale. Well, that's the hour mark, which is so often a point at which coaches have a little look over their shoulder. Perhaps think, right, who can change this for me in a positive way? Do I need defensive shoring up, or do I need attacking flair and fresh legs? Here's Molly May Sharp. Taking on Ward. It's a lovely ball over. Oh, and Verdon's all on her own here. Oh! And didn't she make the most of the space? Where on earth did the Bristol City defence go? And why did they leave somebody so good at finishing all on her own? But still, even with the time, even with the space, that's a super finish. And it puts Crystal Palace in control. Look at the room she had, but the angle was right against her. Power and precision. And Crystal Palace have the lead. Here's Gale, looking to hit back straight away with Robinson. Well, it was quite the finish, wasn't it? Seemed so strange that all of a sudden she was there with nobody in white around her at all. She just made sure she hit it as hard and as high as she could. So now the onus on Bristol City. Got more defending to do here, and Larkin is in. And Brisky was brave. Well, she had to come out and take everything really there, the Bristol City goalkeeper. And some damage might have been done to both in the process. Powell was always struggling here with the bouncing ball and needed help from her goalkeeper. A painful one that for both. Both had to go for it. But she looks in a bad way here, Abby Larkin. Looks to be a combination of injury to the leg, but also perhaps winded in the process. It's never a good sight when you see physiotherapists running on and holding on to a player's leg like that to stop them from moving, causing any further damage. So hopefully this isn't as serious as it might seem to be on the face of things. This the key goal so far, really the third goal of the game. And there she was all alone. And they got across to her as quickly as they could, but the damage was done. Time will be taken here to make sure that Larkin is given the best possible care. At least she's sitting up now, or vaguely. Looks like the end is nigh for her in this game anyway. Joe Potter preparing a change. Clearly difficult for medical staff here. They don't want to rush things. It's also hard for the players on the field with the pace of the game suddenly slowing. Have to keep mentally on the football matters, but also of course concerned for their teammate or friend, even if they're on the opposing side. Lauren Brisky comes across to check on Larkin's welfare. We're going to see two Bristol City changes at the very least here. Maureen Dafoe was one of those who dropped down to the bench today. She's going to come on in a moment. And also Rio Hardy was the other player who was taken out of the starting 11 ahead of this one. So Looks like it's going to be Katie Robinson who is going to make way. And Vicky Losada has passed on the armband. So it's a reversal of one of the changes pre-match, with Losada being replaced by Dufour. Larkin might be looking to give this a go. Free kick has been given Bristol City's way. Lauren Brisky just waiting for the thumbs up to get the game underway again. So Palace temporarily down to 10 players here. Jo Potter just waiting on a medical update before she changes things. Forward it goes from the foot. Chased by Ward with Sharp in close quarters. Corner ball. Abby Larkin is back on now. There she is next to referee Abby Dearden. So she's going to give it a go. Corner is a tricky one. Yanez gets a good hand to it. Back into the mix again. Oh, and it was Hardy who hit it, but I think it hit her more than anything. Struck the arm as she was swinging for it. The break in the game perhaps suiting Crystal Palace there. Of course, they wouldn't have wanted to see one of their team on the ground getting treatment, but just maybe killed the Bristol City bounce back from conceding that second Palace goal. 20 minutes to play. Good to see her back up on her feet. Hardy's ball forwards. She'll be up there with Gale now, trying to make things happen for Bristol City. Feeding off the balls in from Syme like that. Well claimed. Then Lloyd Smith and Gale and Hardy now. Got a right proper attacking trio going for it up there. Larkin just with a grab at Ward, which will lead to a free kick. Ward just got herself between player and ball. Well, if it stays this way, it closes things right up between these two sides. Crystal Palace would be just a point behind Bristol City. They'd stay in third and fourth as they were at kickoff. But Palace would close in on those top three positions. We're going to see a couple of Palace changes as well. Justine van Havermaet, one of those to come on. Alison Swaby as well, waiting for her moment. Veerden, Powell just seeing it out. Napier's throw. She tried to welly that against Marine Dufour to get a corner, and she has succeeded. Initially given us a throw, which is why Bristol City now are perhaps unhappy with the call. But I think it did ricochet off Dufour. And here come the changes. Alison Swaby, Justine van Havermaet on to replace Hayley Nolan, who might have had a different exit from this game in the first half if Bristol City had had their way. Annabelle Blanchard will be replaced here. Very good with the ball at her feet. Also an imposing customer from a set play situation such as this. Bristol City making a change as well. Debut for Olivia Voss. Signed in the last few days. The Polish international looking to make a defensive impact straight away here. And it's a poor corner. Gemma Lawley replaced, incidentally, in that change, with Olivia Voss coming on. Both sides with substitutions still in hand. And Palace might need one here. May Kato here just playing physio almost. It looks like it's Abby Larkin who's down again. Tried to give it a go, but maybe what happened a few moments ago has caught up with her. Both sides will have a quick conversation about where this game goes from here. We have exactly 15 minutes to play. Elise Hughes will be called upon here for Crystal Palace. These stoppages mean we'll have a decent wedge of added time, you'd think, at the end. It's the end for Larkin, who's had her say with that goal in the first half. And they will hope that that is not anything serious for Abby Larkin, who does look in a fair bit of distress. Elise Hughes with a couple of goals in the league this season, coming on to try and make this game safe from a Crystal Palace point of view. On by side. Swaby on the cover. In some ways, time running out for Bristol City, but there's still a fair bit of time to go and for things to change dramatically. Had such a good January, Bristol City, with those victories over Forest and Southampton and Sunderland, the draw against battling Ipswich Town away from home. And their last defeat coming against Crystal Palace in league terms in mid-December, that 3-2 reverse fixture, which Charlotte Healy demanded a response from, because at that stage, defeats against Charlton and Crystal Palace were just threatening to derail Bristol City's season a little bit. They lost to Tottenham Hotspur in the League Cup as well. They've got a big tie against Arsenal in the FA Cup coming up. Nikato trying to whip it across for Crystal Palace, who will be more than happy with the ball being at this end of the field, with time ticking away. Hughes with the flick. Howard was there trying to force it past Brisky. Where's that going to drop? Well, Elise Hughes couldn't quite apply the required force on the spin. Napier's header. Nikato. Hughes calling for it. Struck across to take it off her toes. This is Veerden. Legs were whipped away, surely there. Nothing given. Well, seen from my angle here that just as she tried to settle on the ball, the toes were taken. Sharp. Van Havermaet is brought down. Well, the Belgian international will try and help Crystal Palace see this one out. Such experience across Europe, playing in Germany and Norway, and of course the WSL as well, with Reading and Everton. Scored that crucial goal for her country as well at Euro 2025 against Spain. Veerden's kick. Powell nodding it away. And she'll look here to close down Hughes. Helped out by Defoe. Napier's challenge on Defoe. It's a Bristol City throw and no more. Hardy just lost out to Hayley Ladd. 9 big minutes remain in this game, plus whatever is added on, and there'll be a fair few minutes in addition. Syme. Hardy. Out off Napier, as Bristol City look to build some pressure here. Powell's throw towards Hardy. Veerden's touch. Hardy again. And that was an interesting ball towards the figure of Jessie Gale. Swaby tracked her run. Swung in by Syme, but nowhere near anyone in white. And now Crystal Palace can break away again. Sharp. Not exactly the ball that Hughes wanted. Lexi Lloyd-Smith. Van Havermaet just did enough to slow her down. Touch from Gale. Van Havermaet in strongly on Ingle. Syme, who inherited the captain's armband from Vicky Losada. Hardy. Taking on Napier. They just did enough to stop the cross being forceful in any way. Veerden now. Touch from Hughes. And Veerden's kept going here. Just went a little early. Well, is she going to be the match winner? Is that moment going to prove crucial? If it does, Bristol City will kick themselves that they left her all alone. Sophie Ingle makes way here. Maria Farrugia replaces her. And Vera Jones is the final introduction from a Bristol City point of view as they look to turn this round. Emily Syme also going off there for the visitors. There's Farrugia trying to get in straight away to cause problems for Palace. Van Havermaet. Veerden. Howard screaming forward in the middle. Van Havermaet found herself all alone. Had the cross found her, and that might have been the game for Palace. She'll stay forward for the corner. Hayley Ladd will take it. No rush from a Palace point of view here. The game has played out in the end exactly how they would have wanted it. That might have to be replaced, by the way, because after Bristol City's corners were being watched very closely in the first half, no surprise that that one is not allowed to stay there from Hayley Ladd. Swerving in all the time, and Van Havermaet will wonder how on earth she didn't find the target. Well, it came at her quickly, but still. And I suppose the only way you'd look at that is if she had got it on target, there were a fair few in her way. Vera Jones. Yanez will grab it and hold on. Hughes. Well, this would be a big win for Crystal Palace, not just because of who they would be beating if they were to hold on and the obvious gaining of 3 points, but to bounce back from defeat at Southampton was the key message from Joe Potter pre-match as the offside flag goes up against Jessie Gale. She has run her socks off today up there. Not necessarily covering as much ground as those in the midfield, but it's the sprinting and stopping that you do throughout the course of the game repeatedly, which is tiresome come the end. Struck away. Is there anything left in the tank for Bristol City? Have Crystal Palace got another decisive moment in them? Joe Potter's side so close to 3 big points. Up it goes towards Sharp and Veerden as well, but that's out. And time is of the essence here for the visitors. Which is exactly why Crystal Palace are preparing a change. Kirsty Howard to leave. And India Page-Riley to come on for the final minute plus added time. Straight away applying the pressure. This is where many feel defenders have to stand strong to keep the lead, but the defending starts at the front. Foul by Napier, was it? Well, advantage played because Bristol City have it with Farrugia. Hughes will come back to smother that attack. Napier away. Farrugia does well against Veerden. And a double up on her to stop her from making progress. Veerden for Hughes. Game management now for Crystal Palace. We're going to play a minimum rather of 9 added minutes. 10% of the game still to play. Plenty of time for things to go very right or very wrong, depending on who you support. Or for a lot of drama if you don't support either of these two sides, you're just here for the fun. Van Havermaet. Hughes. Riley went down a little easy. Certainly helped on her way, but I don't think you'll see many referees point to the spot in a coming together like that. Given a helping hand by Ward, but on her way down already, I would suggest. Fair to say Amy Everett wasn't quite in agreement with that statement. Ashley Veerden with the corner. Plenty rising forward, including Sharp. Everett looks to keep it in and gets the throw off Powell, does she? No. And with the ball thrown away, that'll be a very silly, cheap yellow card for the Centurion. Bearden's header. Hughes trying to cushion it for Mikato. That'll be Brisky's ball. And she'll be keen to get rid of it swiftly. There's a grab and a kick away. Hughes hitting the bar. Lovely shot, but she'll get booked for it because it's a Bristol City ball. It's fair to say, by all sorts of means, Crystal Palace are doing their best here to see this one out. When it's all said and done, people don't remember yellow cards, they remember results. This is Hughes. And Mikato. Riley perhaps would have been offside there. Powell. Can't find a way through towards Hardy. Ball just keeps breaking for Crystal Palace here. They're working so hard to claim the 3 points. Riley has little support, so went alone and will be delighted to have secured a free kick and some time to see out. An opportunity for Palace to just keep the ball away from their end as the clock continues to tick. Very close to halfway through the added 9 minutes. Riley. That's a Palace free kick. And a yellow card as well for Murray Ward. Hayley Ladd over the ball. Swung in towards the height of Van Havermaet, who couldn't find a target or a teammate. It wasn't too far away from either. Lovely delivery from the dependable Ladd. And Van Havermaet is so dangerous in those kind of situations. Bristol City just seem to have run out of steam here. You have to applaud the way that Crystal Palace are just keeping the ball in the Bristol City half. They can't lose from here if they continue to have the territory. There goes Jones. Van Havermaet scrapping for it. Might have caught Jones actually in the process there. Referee calling for treatment here. I don't think Jones actually wants it, but because it's a head injury, there has to be a bit of care taken. are certain protocols that have to be followed even in the 98th minute of a game which is on a knife edge. The ball's going to be dropped for Bristol City here. And even though they have to go down a player for 30 seconds, they have the attacking advantage here in some ways. Crystal Palace happy to just get it anywhere away. They have kept Bristol City at arm's length all the way through added time. But now the Robins are trying to make their presence felt. Napier, though, sees that out. It's a case of now or never as Jones re-enters the action. Yanez to clear with precious little time remaining for the visitors. Hughes is after it, well marshalled by Struck. Firmly in the last chance saloon here, Bristol City. Solid defensive work by Mikato. That's the 9 minutes. It's a case of how much is added to the added time. Sharp wants a corner. Sharp gets a corner. And from here, there should be no way back for Bristol City. At this stage, it's not about getting it in the box, it's about keeping it in the corner and waiting for the whistle. And there it is. The WSL 2 promotion picture changes again, this time in Crystal Palace's favour. A massive come from behind 3 points for the Eagles, which brings them to within a point of the top three. Fourth beats third. When third took the lead, it started so well for Bristol City with the close range finish from Lexi Lloyd-Smith. The riposte from Abby Larkin before half-time, and then the rifled shot from Ashley Bearden when she was left all alone in the penalty area proved pivotal. Crystal Palace delighted come full-time. 3 massive points for them in their season. The next few weeks and months will be fascinating, particularly with these two teams playing their part in an enthralling promotion fight. It ends in Sutton. Crystal Palace 2, Bristol City 1. Well, it all ends in handshakes between the two, and you just wonder where these two might end up come the final reckoning. Certainly they'll be part of the conversation, no doubt about that. But it's a big win for Palace. And Bristol City with much to think about. There were so many positives in the game for both teams, but Palace in the end knocked on the door a fair few times more and ended up crucially breaking through once more than their opponents. A lively game, a tense game at times, a game in which we saw the side's quality and fragility. But Crystal Palace, particularly in added time, were just that little bit smarter. Managed to manage the game very well and restrict Bristol City as they tried to throw everything at their opponents. So let's have a look at what happened elsewhere. Durham getting a 98th minute equaliser earlier on today against Birmingham City in a 1-1 draw there. Charlton Athletic 2 to the good against Nottingham Forest. Lucy Fitzgerald with both of those. Ipswich Town, big win for them against Portsmouth. It was 2-0 until deep into added time when Meg Hornby pulled back what was a consolation for the home side, but Ipswich Town win, and that is huge for them because it means they jump above Portsmouth in the table on goal difference. And victory as well for Newcastle United. They did the damage in the first half, a double from Jordan Nobbs, before Tegan McGowan grabbed one for Southampton with just 2 minutes remaining, but it was too little, too late. Well, the Bristol City debrief has already started, as you can see. The players talking about what they've produced and what they've perhaps let slip. They'll be debating this decision all the way home on the bus. The challenge on Jessie Gale by Hayley Nolan. A yellow card shown when all those of a Bristol City persuasion were screaming for a card of a different colour. Nolan very fortunate to get away with that one. Bristol City eventually opening the scoring through Lexi Lloyd-Smith. This Vicky Losada free kick dealt with by Palace, but never truly cleared. Bristol City recycled it really well, particularly through Ward and through Robinson. And then Losada again. And when it was knocked down by Struck, Lexi Lloyd-Smith made the movement to make it count. And at that point you wondered whether that was Bristol City off, up and running, ready to run away with the game, but it's actually as good as it got for them. Crystal Palace seemed to gain something out of conceding and started tucking the ball in behind the Bristol City backline. Kirsty Howard here on a plate for Abby Larkin for 1-1. Larkin's game in the end to end in injury. And hopefully it's not too serious for her and for Crystal Palace. A nice finish swept home from her on that occasion. And Crystal Palace looked lively at various points in the game. Annabelle Blanchard another day might have smashed this one into the back of the net. Jamie Lee Napier against her former club, setting Molly May Sharp away here to try and angle the ball into the box. When it did come, who was on Ashley Weirden? Nobody was the answer, and she made Bristol City pay. They were all drawn out towards the cross and those in the middle, and they left Weirden all on her own. You just can't do that. Put her laces through it, and that was the winning moment. There were other question marks, perhaps. India Page-Riley tumbling under attention from Ward, but no genuine appeals, I think, from the field for a spot kick there. Maybe one from Elise Hughes. But that was that, and Crystal Palace got the job done. It's a big 3 points for them in their WSL 2 season. And it will be really interesting to see what happens for them in the weeks to come. Birmingham City up next for them. That'll be a classic clash, you would think. Bristol City have to pick themselves up and go again. Hopefully you've enjoyed the coverage. We will see you very soon for more from the WSL 2. Stay tuned for that. Bye for now.